Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can you hear us, Prabhu?
Yes, yes. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada. Hari Hari. Checkal Patra Krishna Prasan Patra Vishnu Banman. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. It's so nice to see all of you. I just start, just 1 minute. Let me just give you a little darshan of Shri Shri Radha Braj Vihari Dev. All all of they are very eager to see. And this is Krishna Prabhu's deities which I am taking care here. Every day I remember Krishna Prabhu. Krishna Keshav Prabhu, sorry.
Very pleasant surprise for us.
And these are the deities given by Jitendra Prabhu. If you remember Krishna Keshav Prabhu, Jitendra Prabhu's mother had given this small Srinathji. And this Laddu Gopal, which we got it in the when in Pandharpur, when at the time of before our Jayanand's arrival, we got it in the flowers. So we have been still having them. That's 21 years. And these are the Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Mai. They are very special to us because they are all coming from the disciplic succession from the Prithu Prabhu and his disciples, and they gave it to us. I was in Portland, and these deities were traveling in the rainbow gathering with Prithu Prabhu. And now I'm going to show you something very, very special. And I feel really blessed. What you are going to see, about to see, is not to be seen in many altars, in any temples in US. I'm going to show you something. So are you getting ready now? Are you ready? Good. Here you go. Now what are you going to see here is a Vithoba Rakhman, which has been worshipped by my ancestry for last 100 years. And after my mother's departure, it came to us, Vithoba Rakhmai. They are absolutely amazing, Vitthal Rakhmai. And they just arrived 1 month ago. So we are really fortunate to have them. And he's very smiling. When they were, I can show you the picture of Vithoba Rakhmai in India, but here it seems to be seeing all the devotees, he's smiling. You can see his face, he's smiling here. He's very much happy. He's very smiling. And we got Rakhmai, because we got Rakhmai for Vithoba, we was alone. And that's not our Vaishnava tradition to worship Krishna alone or Vitthal alone. So we got Rakhmai, and he's very happy seeing all the devotees and seeing Rakhmai. So this is our deity room, and then we downstairs is a temple room where devotees they meet every Sunday. Hare Krishna. So I'm so glad to see you, all of you. I feel like I've come back to the spiritual world. It is such a wonderful time which we had in Portland. It is my greatest honor and pleasure. Yeah. Yes. How are you doing? Madhav Gaurang Prabhu, right? With the mask, I can't see you properly. Yes. Jai. And who was the one who was playing mridung and singing?
Aniruddha.
Oh, Aniruddha! I was a little boy. Oh God. Haribol. I wouldn't have wildest guessed also. Oh yeah. It seems I have not been in touch with all of you for a long time. Yeah.
This video call we didn't have for some time. Audio we have. Yeah.
Oh my God. Very nice, Anirudh Prabhu. Haribol. Jai, it was very nice. Sweet Kirtan.
Thank you, Swami.
Very, very sweet. I've been blessed. The good fruit falls not far from the tree.
Yes,
Good tree, good fruits. Yes, very happy. I'm so glad Portland is doing so nicely. It's a great honor. Yeah, and fortunately or unfortunately, wherever we go, it's a digging ground. I guess we have started digging here, but we are getting good cooperation from devotees here also. There has been challenges, but Krishna is merciful. We have a few very dedicated devotees who wants to give their life and soul to this Srila Prabhupada's divine mission. Some of them are chanting 16 rounds. They are American devotees, and they are very nicely they are doing. And some of them are just coming in also. And I was very happy to see Veerbhadra Prabhu. I think is this his initiated name or what's? Rajendra, yeah, sorry, Rajendra Sutta Prabhu and his good wife and Thiru Prabhu. We met them in Dallas. I think it was 2-3 months ago. I lost count now. Yeah, Sham Chandra Prabhu. So slowly, all the everybody from Portland are moving to Dallas. We have little Portland here in Dallas, and yes, and of course, Dev Prabhu was there, and Sham Chandra Prabhu, and there's all due to Madhav Gaurang Prabhu's grace. I still remember it was such a beautiful time we used to have in Corvallis and Salem, of course in Portland also. Yeah. Who's that voice coming from sky? It seems Akashvani. Oh, Jai, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Jai Ho.
Seems Rasaraj.
Oh, Rasaraj, yeah, Rasaraj Prabhu ki jai ho. I remember seeing Anirudh like this.
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, yes.
It was a little bigger, I think, the last time That's
Yes, Prabhuji.
Harivan. Jai. Harivan Prabhu. So today is where is my what's his name? On this Rohini Kishore Prabhu and
Shamaras Mataji.
huh?
Shamaras Mataji.
Yeah, Samaras Mataji and
Haribhakti Mataji.
Haribhakti. And what's the name of Mahesh Prabhu?
Madhava Hari. Madhava Hari.
Madhav Hari. He's not here?
He's not. He's leaving to India tomorrow morning, Prabhuji. So
Oh, okay. Yes, it's been quite a journey for us actually. It's such a wonderful memories. He nicely won. When we come to Krishna Kesha Prabhu, it's like the highlight in Corvallis. I used to visit. Like it was, of course, Mother Gaurang Prabhu. He did so much. So it's really I'm indebted to all of you. Maharaj told two things we should always remember and two things we should always forget. Anyone knows what are the two things we should always remember? Two things we should always forget. Let's put it that way. We should always forget two things. That is, first thing is what good things you do to others. And secondly, what bad thing people do to you. You should always try to forget that. Because forgiveness, Vaishnav's biggest ornament any Vaishnav could carry upon their shoulders or upon their Vaishnav limbs is that compassion to other living entity, Jiva Daya. And that is Krishna is Krishna is so wonderful that he does not see any fault with us. He only sees all good things. And even though we don't do anything, we just lose all the life. So most of the life we do so much for our family members, for the society, for everything else. And he doesn't say anything. And just even once somebody chants Hare Krishna, he remembers that. Keno Dayalu Sharanam Rajema. Where can you find such a merciful? Do you know anybody in this world? Even though somebody who may love say that I love you so much, or somebody you see, and if anything changes, they are willing to go to the other extreme in this world. How much ever you do, whatever you do for others, if anything little bit goes wrong, they are willing to go to the other extreme. No forgiveness, no compassion. But Krishna and his devotees are so merciful. So merciful that they don't even see the faults. And they are not willing to reject us. So Krishna and his devotees are the only shelter we have in this world. Everything else is temporary. And one who understands that anyone who helps us to remind us about Krishna and anyone who helps us to come closer to Krishna, they are the only hope. That's the only association. That's the only hope we have. There's everything else is topsy-turvy. We don't know what's going to happen. At what time, at what point of time things will change. When I was little boy, I used to hear the song, Ye Dunya ke badalte rishte. You remember? Jane kaise. It is, everything is changing. The things are changing. Of course, it doesn't mean that it's happening in my house, not like that. But the thing is, it's like everything in this world is changing. But only thing remains constant is that our, bhakta, uh, bhakti and Ishvara. Three things. That's the only hope we have. So, really, the Guru is the one who helps us to connect. Helps us to have that vision which Krishna sees. Krishna doesn't see the fault. The Guru also doesn't see the fault. In a sense, in spiritual life, when we give up our body, the Guru is the one who actually sees, even though I had fault, I personally recommend him. So that's why it is so important. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado yasya prasadat nagati kutopi dhyam priyam tasya yashastri sandhyam vande guru shri sharanam. So we sing this every day. So really the mercy of the spiritual master is the only hope. And it doesn't matter, the spiritual master is not just a person. Of course, we are very personal thing, but it is he's representing the previous acharyas. He's helping us to connect to Srila Prabhupada. He's helping us to connect to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He's helping us to connect to Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and thus he's helping us to connect to Nityananda Prabhu. And when it connects to Nityananda Prabhu, that's where the success of our whatever we have. Netai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Sushitala. That is a success, is to achieve the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. We don't have any capability or any qualification to directly go to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. That's why Guru is important. When, as you probably know, this beautiful pastime when Murari Gupta was one time, he was always respecting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he came in a dream. Lord Chaitanya came in a dream and he became Krishna. And Nityanand Prabhu became Balramji, and Balramji was walking in front, and Krishna was walking at the back. And in a dream of Murari Gupta, he was saying, you see, I'm following him. I'm following my elder brother. So that's why I was saying that somehow or other, if we actually glance, if we can go to the place where Nityanand Prabhu's mercy can be found, where Guru actually takes us there. So, one of the offering, I think it was Madhusudan Prabhu in 1991. He came on his Vyasa Puja day. He came with the peacock feather. He came. So people not worry. He came with the peacock feather. And then he was crying. He was crying because this is the time, very emotional moment. This is the offering, is a very emotional. He was crying, and he was mentioning about Radhanatah Maharaja that in any life, any form you come, I will recognize you, and because I've given my heart and soul to you. The spiritual master will also the same way. He will recognize the same disciple if we are not perfect, if we don't follow the sadhana, he may have to come back again just to uplift us, just to take us back, to make us perfect again. So what a responsibility he's taking, what a responsibility. And he will recognize us, just like this life we have recognized our spiritual master. If we don't perform nicely, then he will come back, and next life he will recognize us also, and you will recognize the master. So the master and disciple relationship is not this life. It is many, many lifetimes. Even when we go to the spiritual world, there are manjaris and sakhis. How the relationship is, we serve spiritual master in the same way as manjaris and sakhis and everyone, how each one wants to serve. So we will serve our spiritual master in spiritual world also in the same way, in a different rupas. We don't want to speculate on what would be our form there. So this is eternal. So when we are serving our spiritual master, he will have a different shape, will have a different body. So, but we will continue serving. So what we are doing here is not material process. It doesn't have any time, place, and circumstance effect. It is completely transcendental experience. Completely transcendental experience. It's joyful. It is the greatest joyful because it's all at the spiritual level. Because even though we leave the body, we'll recognize the master. When we go to the spiritual world, Prabhus will recognize him in Golok Vrindavan also. Hari Bol. That's why Vyasa Puja is such a personal and very, very sacred ceremony where we actually worship Vyasadeva. He's a representative of Vyasadeva. He's really... I was invited to the... I'm not qualified, of course, to represent ISKCON of San Antonio in assembly of the entire... all the communities of Hindu communities and around, they came, and on the Vyasa Puja day. It was a Vyasa Dev's Guru Purnima day. So they had put the Vyasa Dev, and there was Jain, there were Hindu temple president, and then there were some other people. They all had gathered there. And they were all giving their views, the Jains were giving the turn, the Shivaites were there, and they were giving their views and about Vyasadeva and everything. But I would tell that they were not even aware what's going on. And in fact, I was telling the Jain people, some people were asking question, who is the originator? But they were kind of arrogant and everything. But I said, it all comes from Rishabdev, Maharaj Rishabdev. And this is possible because of Srila Prabhupada has given us Srimad Bhagavatam, and it tells us how everything has started. And we understand the perspective of all the different sampradayas in the right way. Shiva has such a beautiful position. We also have in our altar, Lord Shiva Ling, a little bit, Sri Devi loves them to worship. But we understand in the right perspective everything. So it's really when I was when I must come back to His Holiness Radhanatah Swami Maharaj, because I remember when I had traveled multiple places. I had several people whom I was trying to inquire. But when I met His Holiness Radhanatah Swami for the first time, it was in 1989 December, I guess it was in December. It was I think over 32 32 years ago, I guess. Yeah, 32 years ago. So when I was bowing down and I was getting up, and at that time I saw literally so much compassion in his eyes, and he was pleading. He was not behind disciples or anything like, but he was pleading to see my soul. When he looked into my eyes, I just saw that he was actually touching my soul and coming out. And I saw so much compassion, and he said, I hope you come again. And all other people, whoever we met, it's like, oh, you go away. No, you just stay, you go away. So there was no love, but here I saw so much love, so much, and I was just 21 years old that time. It wasn't like I had a lot of money or anything like that. But he was so kind to accept such a sinful person like me. That's the compassion which I saw. So anyways, so over the years, we realized that when we follow the instruction, there is more realization comes. The more we understand the spiritual master and disciple relationship is not to do anything with distance and how much we can get to talk to him and how much we can. Of course, it's nice to do that, but that is not really important, because it goes in all in his vani, in his instruction, and through his through association of his near and dear ones. So it doesn't matter whether how spiritual master respond to us or how he So one of the quality I remember is that while I was in the Chicago temple, and there was initiations were going on, and at that time I came and offered my obeisances, and I was surprised. I wouldn't expect anyone to do that. I was surprised when I bowed down, he also bowed down. Now, who was he? Radhanatah Swami, and I was so insignificant. It just shows that how humble that person is bowing down to disciple. We are having hard time bowing down to our God brothers. He is bowing down to disciple. What a highest culture he's showing. So it is whatever is. It's because of the very, very strong training and understanding of what is the true culture. In fact, I was hearing from the Journey Within audio book just recently, and how much he had to go through. Everything he took there as a lesson just to know what's the goal of life. Everything, just there was a incident of pack of dogs who were trying to see and how he struggled with the stick, and he really realized it, that he was about to die, but he pleaded, and finally he could survive the onslaught. So there were just at the Prayag, he was actually he was just drifted away, and he was struggling against the current, and he was struggling, and finally saw the boatman coming, and the boatman, when he came 200, and he was struggling so hard, he was about to die, and at that time the boatman just said like this, like, and then he passed, and they said, the mother whom I worship, now I have to give up my body. And he was willing to give up the body, and he was half submerged. And at that time, he realized that when boatman was doing like this, that means go with the flow. You have to go with the flow. So sometimes this is very important lesson. Means sometimes some difficult situations come in our life. The Arjuna was speaking on a battlefield. He wasn't speaking on a cave or an evening time, nice. He was on a battlefield. Our life is going to be having some difficult situations in our life, everyone's life. I don't have to know, but I know people are going through difficult situations in their life. But at that time, instead of just trying to swim against the current, we have to learn to go with the flow sometimes. Having faith in Krishna, learn to go with the flow. Mother Ganges, and then even though at the time of living their own identity means he had a passport and other side and his everything was other side. He said, forget it. And giving up your passport and legal identity, it could have been worse than anything for the foreign person who is in India. So he did that. He was willing to take the risk. He said, I will just go with the flow. Doesn't matter. This is what Krishna once said. Harivo. I will go with the flow, even though it cost of losing everything what I have. I said, doesn't matter. Hare Krishna. And he started flowing with that. And several hours later, he was nicely got on shore and he had to walk back and he found also among several devotees, he found everything. So Krishna does test our sincerity, my dear friends. Krishna does test our sincerity. And how much ever you try and go other side, or how much ever, sometimes we have to make hard decisions in our life. We must choose Krishna over everything else. And when that thing happens, and the final moments come in our life, we know where to take shelter. We know where to move our face. Spiritual Master and Krishna and Srila Prabhupada has really given us everything. All we need to do is just become sincere. All we need to do very attentively chant our rounds. Otherwise, all the relationship, all the problems which we have, they will keep arising within your own heart and within the society, within community will start noticing that because of problems are not outside, but problems are within us. When we realize this fact that we need to get cleansing, there was one story I remember, there was one buddy, so somebody just cleaned up his one ear and he had he was telling that only he could hear from one ear. So, and other year he was asking 1 rupee. You remember that story? 1 rupee. I said, I don't have anything. So the same way he was mentioning that in our heart there is so much anartha is there, and Guru is the one who removes the wax. Guru is the one which have, and there you can hear the message of Krishna clearly. But removing the dirt within heart, it is painful process. To becoming humble, to make the Kaliya, when Krishna was dancing, the Naga Patnis was glorifying. Oh wow! Oh, wow! Kaliya, yeah. Fortunate, the dust of the lotus feet, where all these Gyanis and Tapasvis and all this, they aspire for billions of years. You have the dust. How fortunate is this Kaliya? What a great fortune. Even the yogis who after so many years of austerities, they don't get it. And this Kaliya has carrying upon hood the dust of the feet of the lotus. How fortunate. So the same way, we have to somehow or other be a very fortunate situation, all of us, that we have the instructions. And even though it happens, so many things happen, we should just try to hear and chant very attentively and assist each other with the love so much. Just try to please each other and see it becomes like Vrindavan. See, it becomes like and the mercy flows through. There's so much. If you want the Portland to flourish, let the mercy of the Lord to flourish. Just make at least 1 or 2 devotees very happy. At least we should not try to make all of them, but it's not possible. But at least We should have very, very close, intimate relationship at the spiritual level. At least we should come together here and chant attentively. And sometime with at least with one devotee should be willing to open heart. Do we have anyone here? We have to ask this question. Do I have any devotee whom I can tell anything? If we don't have, then we are in dangerous situation in spiritual life. Do you have to ask this question to yourself? Do you have anyone whom you can trust and open? If you don't have, that means we have to still grow in our spiritual life. We all have anarthas, but we have to work together. That's why communities are built, to work together, to actually hear and chant nicely. If we are having problems, doesn't matter. We stay together, help each other, and try to glorify, try to see good things in others. Try to see, and among the, not just outsiders, among the family members also, the husband should think good things in a wife, and wife should think good qualities, because when we are family, we take it for granted. We take it for granted. So it has to have from the family as well as from the community. So that's how things will grow. And that's what we had learned from our spiritual master. You know, when he was there in Los Angeles, one God brother came and blasphemed him. Oh no, you don't respond email, you don't do this, that. And what did he do? He got up and embraced him. Oh my God. All the problems, he had no complaints after that. So such a wonderful humility. And so I think if anytime if we need, there are so much instructions is there. If we hear very attentively, when we all hear Srimad Bhagavatam, but when we hear from Radhanatah Maharaj, we come to know the mood of each character of Srimad Bhagavatam. Do you all feel like that? Yes. And how each mood, how he was puffed and what was his thinking, so he could read something which is in between. He can analyze the mood. It's so sweet. It's really brings the real essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, understanding personality that needs a gift. But I'm just going to conclude it here. There are people who speak very nicely, but they don't behave very nicely. Some people, they don't know how to behave. Some people behave very nicely, they can't speak very nicely. Some people, they may speak very nicely, behave, but they will not understand the mood of the spiritual master. But all three things together, it's a rare combo. And to have that as a blessings, as a through His Holiness Radhanatah Swami Maharaj, who really understood the heart, has really understood the heart of Srila Prabhupada, and whose behavior as well as his everything is transcendental. So one has to see what somebody has done over the years, and we have to learn to be grateful. And more we are grateful towards our spiritual master and towards other living entities, the more we make advancement. Hare Krishna. There's so much more, but I just have to speak. Today is that much only. Tomorrow, Hare Krishna, we are going to do a play tomorrow here, hopefully. We do plays. Yeah. So please, are there anything you want to speak or comments or any realization you want to share? Please feel free.
Yes, Prabhuji, it's a member of the Spark of Srila Prabhupada.
Haribol.
I don't know whether any of you have seen a book called Gift of Gratitude. There was a request to write 140 characters,
Oh, yeah.
you must have, all of must have done. The book is published on sent to Maharaja and second. Maharaj is not seen yet. I don't know after that. Maharaj is not seen, but in Chicago, right? Maharaj is not there in Chicago, I believe. So I would like to read some from there randomly. Then that's my offering. Nice. Thank you, Maharaj, for putting up so much effort to pull us from the darkest material existence. Thank you for taking me by hand and accompanying me every day on the spiritual path that leads to Krishna, your eternal servant, the devotee from Villa Vrindavan. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for your valuable instructions in lectures, which is like a ship to rescue and help me cross this material existence. Devotee from Dallas, USA. Your chastity and dedication towards ISKCON and Prabhupada is seen when Chowpatty was not a part of ISKCON, and the opportunity came to rejoin. Devotee from Chowpatty, Mumbai. Your loving, caring, and compassionate nature towards all is adorable and inspiring. Thank you, Maharaj, for imbibing true values in us. Devotee from Chowpatty. Thank you very much, Gurudev, for always being there in my life, just like a loving father. Please give me some space at your lotus feet, a devotee from Dallas. Dear Gurudev, I feel blessed to have you as my father, guide, well-wisher, caretaker, inspiration. My heart feels gratitude. Devotee from Belgaum. A couple more I would like to do here. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. I'm very grateful to get your Bhaktas Association. Whenever I see you, suddenly my mind clicks. Somebody from the spiritual world, Hare Krishna. Somebody is Iyer from Chowpatty, Mumbai. Grateful to you, Maharaj. Whatever little taste I have for Krishna Leela is because of your absorption and presentation in such a way that the hearer automatically develops taste. Devotee from Chennai. With obeisances to your lotus feet, I'm eternally grateful for your prominent presence in my life. Tehran.
Hare Krishna.
This is devotee from Tehran.
Just I have to go, but before that, because there is something, but
Prabhuji, we can't hear you. You're frozen.
Guru and Diksha Guru, the difference is that Diksha Guru has the power to take us back to the spiritual world. Of course, Shiksha, you can learn from many of them. So it is, you might be knowing this. So there were devotees going to Jagannath Puri, and at that time, he was been not seen by his god brothers for several hours. So one time they asked him, where were you? All his god brothers were asking. He said, with his with the very folded hands and with the looking down. He said, I was pulled over by pandas to sit right in front of Jagannath. Did you know this pastime?
No.
And he was like for 6 hours. It is very special darshan. Nobody else gets it. It was right in front of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, a very special place. So they asked. So one of his godbrother asked him, "What you were praying for 6 hours?" He said, "I was praying for each and every disciple that please help Jagannath ji to take them back to the spiritual world." Hariva. So he personally pleaded for all of us here that, of course, he wants everyone, all the devotees in this world to go, but he personally pleaded, please take, because it's my responsibility and I can't do it unless you give me the mercy. So what else do you want of the spiritual master? What else is personally somebody is pleading for all of you? Prabhu's, you are so fortunate. That's all I can say. Personally, somebody is pleading to Jagannath for 6 hours with tears in eyes, and please take all of them. It's my personal responsibility. Please help me to fulfill. Haribol. Now there is nothing else left. So all of you, all you need to do, just chant your rounds and that's it. Haribol. So all of you are very fortunate. So thank you very much. And I really personally would like to see all of you in person. Hopefully, just pray that I can serve all of you one day.
So you have been praying for your association.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much.
Haribol, thank you. Hare Krishna. Ancha kalpatra prasan bhavanam pavanam Vaishnava.
Jai Baldev Prabhu joined and Shakti Mataji joined. Prabhuji, I think he disconnected. I don't know. We were stuck. He's disconnected.
Namaste Radhanatah. Namo Vishnupraya Krishna Bhutale Namaste Vedanta Swami. Hare Krishna. So, on the auspicious day of Puja, I'd like to say, after listening and watching the YouTube video by the offering by the Gauranga Prabhu and other devotees in the Pune temple, I was so amazed and surprised to see how Maharaja is reciprocating with all the devotees, and especially Gauranga Prabhu when he said how the Maharaj has developed the whole Gopinath temple, a congregation, and how much dedication and how much effort he put it in, and how the devotees have helped him to, go from the not connect to the ISKCON and everything. It was a surprise to me that, wow, how much Maharaj has done. And we are really fortunate for all the senior Vaishnavas to help us to join the movement. So with the folded hand, I pray my obeisances to all the senior devotees who have given us a chance to accept the Guru Maharaj and bring us to the ISKCON movement. Hare Krishna.
Padaya Vishwatashthaya Pujale Srimate Radhanatah Swami Namaste. Om Vishwadaya Vishwatashthaya Pujale Srimate Radhanatah Swami Namaste. Namaste Saraswati Devi Guruvani Pujale Nirvisheshni Nivadi Paschatya Devi Om Bhakti Mirandasya Dhananandana Salakaya Takshupundi Tamnena Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha. Thank you so much for all of you who have joined us personally in this auspicious occasion. We were 2 days ago, but nevertheless, celebrating last 2 days anytime you can do. We celebrate happy birthdays 5 days, 1 month later. So, so we can celebrate Vyasa Puja with Maharaj. I don't have all my senior brothers and god sisters here. I don't feel myself qualified at all to speak anything in front of you. Whenever I think about offering as an offering to Maharaj, the only thing which comes to my mind is the Guru Arti is the last stanza of the Guru Arti. Yogyata vichar hai, kichu nahi pai, tumhara karuna samay. Yogyata vichar, if you ask for any qualifications, yogyata vichar hai, kichu nahi pai. There's nothing you can find. There's no qualifications you can find in me because I'm only of mercy. I'm only of mercy. Tumhara karuna samay. Of course, the next part I don't have that. It is Kandiya. I'm weeping. I can't do that also. I don't have that. And Dharanjay so beautifully mentioned that there are some devotees who can speak nicely but can't behave. Devotees who can behave nicely but can't speak. And some devotees who can do both but can't understand the mood of spiritual master. And three of them is very good combo, the ultimate combo. I'm the exact opposite of that. None of the three. And the deadliest combo. So, we pray. I beg at the feet of Maharaj is that I can behave nicely to all the devotees, especially the disciples of his godmother. So that's what Maharaj really appreciates. Respecting his disciples, godmother, god sisters. Yes, that is good. But he always extends himself to serve his godmothers and god sisters. Whenever there are any classes which he gives, he always the first thing which he does is he pays respects to his god sisters and god brothers who join in the call first. Very, very humble, very service attitude. So I hope I can also reciprocate and see that there are disciples of other spiritual masters, but they're all in the mission of Srila Prabhupada. I'm not, you are that, you are different. So I hope I can invite that particular mood and serve everyone in the same mood and as I'm serving my brothers and god sisters in the Prabhupada school. So that's the only thing I pray for, and I hope I can just follow your instructions to the T as it is. Chant 16 rounds daily for the principles. And it's been extreme. It's been so fortunate to hear your classes, which are full of so nectarian. And when we hear the classes, it's as if you can see the passions in front of you, and we just describe what you can see. It's so vivid, and you have so much love. I remember this one class he spoke for 3 hours, and then said, "Okay, this was just an introduction. Now the class begins." Now I begin the class. He spoke for 3 hours. This is how much he religious Krishna Katha. Hope I can imbibe that taste a little bit. Right? Because if I can have imbibe the mood of relationship with Bhagavatam, maybe I can also cross, I can also hold your dhoti and you can take me back also to spiritual world, to Krishna, of course, to serve him. Thanks so much, Guru Maharaj, for accepting such a lowly, insignificant fool as a servant 2 years ago. Much, that's the compassion. And if you can accept as useless as me, then that means you are the most compassionate. Thank you so much for everything, Guru Maharaj. I hope I can serve you. Mama Janmanishware, and can serve you life after life. Ram Tulsi Prabhu, I don't know if you can hear me, Prabhu. Would like to share your offering, Prabhuji?
You're on mute, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Krishna Prabhu, Sanavad, all Guru Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev. It's very simple, Prabhu, since we are kind of a little behind the camera. Dear Guru Maharaj, thank you very much for all your mercy.
on us. And I pray for your good health so that we can continue your blissful, nice service to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Right.
Evolve.
Jai Baldev Prabhu, are you there, Prabhu? Would you like to offer your offerings, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna.
Hey Krishna,
You
Prabhu.
are-
Very good.
Hare Krishna. Please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Gurudev. I didn't really prepare anything, but grateful to be here with all of you. Such an amazing. Was that who was the devotee that was here before? Was that Dhananjaya Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't recognize him. It's been so long since I'd seen him.
Right.
But the past time he told of Lord Jagannath and Gurudev was just so amazing. It just touched the heart so much. And I mean, Guru Maharaj, he's just always thinking about other people and the welfare of others and doing what he can to uplift and elevate. And my prayer is that I can maybe just follow in his footsteps a tiny bit and get a little drop of that love and compassion for others. Just very grateful to have all of your association and our God family and just the whole network of disciples of Gurudev. Just very grateful. So Jai, Hare Krishna.
They will look of you back to Vancouver or still in London?
We're in Vancouver at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Anything from you?
Just always grateful for Gurudev, for his love and care. He really is an example to all of us. You know, the world can be, sometimes it can be a bit depressing when we see so much, you know, quarrel and hypocrisy. But he's kind of a guiding light, a golden light in this world. And I try to, when I not sure what to do in moments like that, when conflict arise, I try to think, what would Gurudev do? How would he respond with compassion and care and kindness? And of course, I fall short, and I pray that I can make him proud and somehow repay the debt that I owe him. Yeah, that's it. All glories to Gurudev.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, for organizing the program. We hear in the lectures like about Maharaj telling about Maharaj sincerity and servant of the servant. From past 2 days, hearing about the offerings of other devotees, and Maharaj, and they are telling so many pastimes of Maharaj, how he not only tells, but he follows it thoroughly. So it was so inspiring to hear the disciples. Was telling that situation comes criticize others, but Maharaj told them, instead of criticizing, go and do that. Then you will come to know how it is to do. Really, that's my. Okay, Maharaj, please give me strength so that I won't criticize or won't do any other anarthas, and I serve in the mode of servant of servant of the. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Radhanatah Swami Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Swami Reading the translation of the Gurudev to Prabhupada. Gurudev, give to this servant just one drop of the mercy. I am over there. God has give me strength. Let me be as you are. Without regret or aspirations. I offer you all respect for this. I may have the energy to know you correctly. Then by chanting the good name in great ecstasy, all my offenses will cease. Oh Lord, Lord and Master, when will such mercy fall to this one who is weak and devoid of intelligence? Allow me to be weak too. If you examine me, you will find no qualities. Your mercy is all that I am made of. Your mercy are unto me. I can only work and I will not be able to maintain myself, my life.
Aşkın okur burada açın. İki gibi yapıyoruz bu. Okul başladı mı?
Radhanatah Gadadhar Srivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama Hare Hare Haripa Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare everyone together Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama Hare Hare Haripa Hare Rama
Divine grace of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Vishnu Pasha Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Om Vishnu Pasha Siddhananda Srila Bhakti Thakur Maharaj ki jai. Om Vishnu Pasha Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Sri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. ये रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ सदगुरु स्वामी प्रभु वर्य वृंद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की रामाचार्य श्रीनाथ ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की गोवर्धन धाम की ब्रजभूमि मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जगन्नाथ परिवार की अयोध्या द्वारका धाम की गंगा मैया की तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की कलयुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की कलयुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की कलयुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की राधानाथ स्वामी महाराज अपने महामहोत्सव की राधानाथ स्वामी महाराज अपने महामहोत्सव की राधानाथ स्वामी महाराज अपने महामहोत्सव की all glories to the assembled beings. All glories to the assembled beings. All glories to the assembled beings. All glories to Shri Guru and Govinda. All glories to the Prabhupada ki jai. Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Sri Radhanatha Swami Iti Namine Kesha Pushpanjali Nam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Radhanatha Swami Namine Kesha Pushpanjali Nam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Radhanatha Swami Iti Namine Kesha Pushpanjali Shri Prabhu and Jai Baldev Prabhu, please honor them on behalf of you. We offer.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, we're offering in our heads. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
And thank you for the ghee lamp too. That was very nice.
That was Mataji's thought. Wonderful idea. Thank you, sir. So we are honoring prasadam Ram Tulsi Prabhu ji and Jai Baldev Prabhu Jhanavi Mata ji. I'm not going to say honor. We will deliver prasad. When I'm coming to Vancouver later this afternoon, I will deliver a plate.
Super,
Thank
super
you.
sweet.
So nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
And yeah, kindly thank you for the association.
Let me know. We can pick it up from you too. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Prabhuji, kindly please share the address, or if you desire to pick from our home to take darshan of the Lordship, that's also open, but I'm open. I'm going to deliver Madhavari Prabhu as well, and Rohini Kishore Prabhu, and you Prabhuji. I'm open. You can come our home if you like to take darshan as well.
Okay. Sure, that would be very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Madhav Granga Prabhu. Please accept my obeisances. Hare Krishna.
Oh, thank you so much, Jai Baldev
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Thanks so much, Mataji.
Oh, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ooh.
Ram Tulsi Prabhu, are you at home or in Vancouver?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for letting us participate in this way. We are home at this
Mataji, I'm sorry, Mataji. We didn't ask you. Would you make an offering, Mataji, please? Would like to hear it. Would like to make an offering to Maharaj.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dear Maharaj, thank you so much. As we all know, you're such a compassionate soul, and we're so grateful for your mercy always, and giving mercy to my mother also. And though we're unqualified and we're fallen, you give us mercy too. And we just beg you to continue to bless us so that we can chant our rounds and hear our rounds sincerely and attentively. And kindly, Guru Maharaj, continue to bless my mother in her spiritual progress. And thank you so much for your mercy, dear Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Ram Tulsi Prabhu, I'll also deliver a plate.
Prabhu?
I will bring in prasadam, Prabhu, for you as well.
Oh, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. It was great to kind of watch the whole program. Very nicely done. Sorry we were not able to come due to an avoidable situation. Good to see you all also.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We'll drop Prabhu. We will have prasadam right now. So we'll have your association sometime soon. Hare